Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. In this video, I will discuss about manual testing and as well as automation testing. So I want to discuss what it is and how to perform it. Okay. So in this video, I will provide with detailed explanations and multiple examples to make it crystal clear. And if you are looking to improve your testing skills, keep watching our videos. So don't forget to subscribe and like my videos. Okay, let's start with the basics. So first one is, what is manual testing? So what is manual testing? So it is a process in software testing life cycle. Okay, in software testing, so here a human tester executes test cases without the use of automation tools. Human tester executes test cases without the use of automation tools. Okay, so it involves set of steps and it ensures that the software is working as per the requirement or not. So it ensures software is working as per the requirement or not. Okay, so now let's break down how to perform manual testing. Okay, so first of all, understanding test cases. Okay, so the first step in manual testing is to understand your test cases. So in test cases, very detailed instructions are there and specify what to test and how to test and the expected results. So in test cases, so please write these all things in your notebook. Okay, so in test cases detailed instructions that specify what to test, how to test, expected results. Okay, so now I am taking one real-time example. So that is nothing but login page. Okay, so this is my login page. Okay, this is username, this is password, this is submit or login button. Okay, so here some steps are there for validating it is working or not. So enter valid username, okay, and a valid password, and click on submit button. So then it will route to the home page. So this is the functionality about login page. But in this case, you can convert this format into test case, right? So what is the test case? Verify that the user is successfully logged in. Okay, So that is the test case. So in this case you need to enter valid username and valid password and click on this submit button. Okay, after that only it will route to the home page, right? So this is the understanding how your test case will execute. Okay, so the next one is test data preparation. Test data preparation. So in this case, before executing your test cases, okay, so please listen carefully. Before executing your test cases, you need to prepare the necessary data. You need to prepare the necessary data. So I'm writing this point here. Before, so I'm writing this point before executing test cases. Okay, you need to prepare the necessary test data. Okay, so let's say for example same example I am taking this login page. So in this login page you need to enter valid username and password and click on the submit button. This is the process to login, one user login into the application, right? So while checking this login functionality, you need to cover both positive and negative way, right? So in this context, you need to prepare, you need to valid username and password, invalid username and password, valid username and invalid password. This type of data to test this functionality, right? So this valid password, this valid invalid username, this invalid password, this is nothing but test data. Okay, this is nothing but test data. One, before executing your test case, definitely you need to prepare the test data first. Okay, please remember in your mind. Okay, so after that test environment setup test environment setup. So you ensure before executing your test cases, your test environment is ready or not. So like setup is correctly or not, including all software versions, configurations and network settings, whatever it may be. For example, let's say if you are testing a mobile app or if you are testing this login functionality, okay, definitely you should log in with URL. So definitely one environment is ready to test this login functionality, right? So you need to verify, so all the network configurations and network settings and software versions and setup is correctly or not before executing our test case, right? So it's very simple, thing. Okay, in this case you need to verify like setup is correctly or not, and software versions and as well as configurations and coming to the point, network settings. Okay, so the next one is text execution. Okay, so test execution is nothing but so I am taking the same example, this login example. So first of all, you are understanding your test case first. Okay, this is the first step. So after that, before executing this test case, you need to prepare the test data. So test data is there and your test case is there. Okay, now it's time to execute your test case. Okay, following steps like enter username and enter password and click on this submit button. So what is the expected results and what is the actual result, you need to note in test case document. Okay, this is the execution process of your test case. Okay, the next one is defect reporting. The next one is defect reporting. So while testing your test case, so for example, you are facing one issue on username, one issue on username. So that is nothing but you are entering at the rate gmail.com. Okay, but system is not taking this. Okay, it will, it is showing one error on console. So immediately you are raise raise one defect through defect tracking tool like Jira, and assign this ticket to, or assign this defect to respective developer. So once respective developer fix this issue, immediately you can perform retesting and small type of regression testing, retesting and regression testing on the defect. Okay, so if in case it will work, you can close this ticket. So otherwise, again inform to developer, and again developer fix this issue again and again. This process is going on until this issue will fix. Okay, okay, this is nothing but defect reporting. So after that, one two terms is there, retesting. So what is retesting? So retesting is nothing but you assigned one defect. Okay, you can focus only on the defect, it is working or not. That process is nothing but retesting. Okay, so coming to the regression testing, you can focus on this defect and as well as connected functionalities. Okay, while implement this, some code is develop. Once you can you assign this issue to the developer, definitely a developer do something after you assign the ticket. Okay, so regression testing focuses on defect and as well as effect functionality. So defect is what? User name is not taking the gmail.com. Okay, but in this case you can test password functionality, sign up functionality and username functionality as well as. Okay, so this is nothing but regression testing. So like you are focusing on affected area and related functionalities. Affected area is nothing but username, and related functionality is password and sign up. Okay, this is nothing but regression testing. Okay, so complete information about manual testing process. Okay, so coming to the automation testing. Okay, now I want to mention all the things here. Like after test execution, you need to defect defect reporting. Okay, the next one is regression and retesting. Okay, so like manual testing is a process in software testing. Like it is identifying issues and why and with the user interactions. Okay, it is following like a systematic approach. So first of all, you need to understand the test cases, and after that, before executing test cases, you need to prepare the test data, and after that you need to set up the test environment. After that you need to execute the test case. After that, while testing your test cases, you can get some issues in that one. So definitely in that time you raise a defect for a developer. Once developer fix the issue, so you need to perform on retesting and regression testing as well. So this is the complete process about manual testing. Okay, so the next one is automation testing. Okay, so in this case, what is automation testing? So why automation testing? So the both points I will cover. So automation testing is a practice of using automation tools and scripts to perform tests on software applications. So in manual testing, with the user, human interactions is there. Okay, in automation testing there is no human interactions to execute the test cases. Just script is there. You can execute your test cases through scripts, and using automation tools. That's it. So while preparing the test scripts, manual intervention is there, but you can execute the test cases. Definitely there is no manual interactions. It saves your time and reduce the risk of human errors. Okay, that is the reason automation testing came into the picture. Okay, so now let's move on. Why automation testing? So the main advantages like faster execution, faster execution. So the next one is repetition. So you need to execute repeatability. It's not repetition, repeatability. So you need to execute your test case multiple times again and again. So while in manual testing, it is a time consumed process. Okay, so but through automation testing it is very easy, and it is improve your test case accuracy. Okay, and next one is, so run your test cases various configurations with different types of data, with different types of data sets. Okay, so this is the main advantages of automation testing. So but how to perform automation testing? But how to perform automation testing? It's like, first of all you need to select perform how to perform automation testing. First you need to select right automation tool. First of all you need to select one right automation tool. So in the market so many automation tools is there, but popular is Selenium. Okay, so as well as Appium and robot framework. The choice is depends on your application type, technology stack and project requirements. So like so many automation tools is there. Selenium for web application, Appium is for your mobile applications. Okay, so many QTP is there, but it is a paid, it's paid, but Selenium is open source. Selenium is, so most of the companies are using Selenium nowadays. Okay, it is a most demanding tool. Appium also for mobile testing, it is very demanding tool for now. So in market mobile testers are very huge demand. So market needs automation testers with mobile testing knowledge and experience. Okay, so let's say for example if you are testing a web application, so you are using a widely used tool for Selenium. Okay, you can remember for only web application testing you can use Selenium. Okay, so how to identify, the next point is how to identify your test cases. So which one is automated and which one is not automated, you need to identify in this step. So here not all test cases are suitable for automation. So now you are start by identifying which test cases are repetitive, time consuming and critical to the application functionality. So you can mainly focus on repetitive. So it means repeat the test cases to execute multiple times. Repetitive, and the next one is time consuming. The next one is critical functionality. Critical functionality. So here the 3 points are very important. Repetitive means you, for example, once retesting is done, so you can perform some regression testing. You need to perform some regression test cases after, so not the defect, not in retesting. So once software releases to the, so QA to another environment like QAT environment, definitely in this case you need to perform regression testing. So in this context you need to write regression test scripts. So by using these regression test cases, you can execute your test shoot multiple times. So you can save your time here. You can save your test case timings here. Okay. And also mainly focuses on critical functionality. Critical functionalities like, let's say for example, in a e-commerce application, automating checkout process to ensure like payment processing and works correctly. Okay, like payment functionality is high risk in e-commerce website, and also like GPay and phone pay, so there is payment option is very critical. So that is the critical functionality you need to automate through automation testing tools. Okay, so like after that you need to set up, your test environment. Set up your test environment. Okay, so configure, in this case you can configure your test environment. So test environment means you can configure the test environment including test data. The next one is test servers. Okay, and dependencies. Okay, so for example you are testing a mobile app testing with APM, you will need to set up emulators for various platforms, right? So after setup your environment you need to execute, okay, execute test scripts. You need to execute test scripts. So you can run, in this case you can run same in manual testing, you can execute test cases after preparing the test cases, and after preparation the test data. Before executing the test cases you can prepare the test data, after that you can execute the test cases. So in this case also same. So you can prepare your test scripts, so after set up your test environment you can execute the test scripts easily. Okay, so same in this case also same, but defect, so after manual testing you have defect reporting. In this case you report and results is coming. So what it means, so after execution, so you can get one review the test results in graphical way, and so if in case any issues is there, and one report is generated definitely. So if in case if your test fails while testing an e-commerce application, so the automation tool will report that failure. So in that case you can analyze the logs and identify the issue. Okay, so in conclusion, automation testing is a powerful approach for ensuring the quality of your software application. So while in software testing, both manual and automation testing is very important case. So in the most important interview question is, what is the difference between manual testing and automation testing? So manual versus automation. So manual versus automation. So manual testing and automation testing, there are some differences there. So each one is its own advantages and some limitations is there. Okay, first of all, test case execution. Test case execution. So in manual testing, test cases are executed by human testers. So and also they follow test scripts and perform test steps and record the results. So in automation testing, test cases are executed using automation tools, scripts and test frameworks. Okay, so imagine you are testing a login page of a website. You manually entered valid and invalid credentials to check if the login process works as expected or not. So in the same login page scenario, an automation scripts can be created automatically, input credentials and verify the login process without human intervention. So the next one is speed and efficiency. Efficiency. Okay. So manual testing is relatively slower than automation testing. So for regression testing, manual execution of test cases can be time consuming, right? As you have to perform the same tests over and over again. So some repetition is there. So in this case, time consuming and slower than automation testing. Okay. Coming to the automation testing, is much faster than manual testing. Like with automation, you can quickly run the same set of test cases across different browsers, devices, and configurations, saving time and effort. Okay. So coming to the human judgment. So coming to the human judgment, manual testing is a plays crucial role and critical role in exploring unscripted test scenarios and identifying usability issues. Testers can provide feedback on the user friendliness of your mobile app by manually navigating and interacting with it. So in automation testing, you won't recognize usability issues. So that is the disadvantage in automation testing, and that is the advantage in human manual testing. Okay, coming to the exploratory testing. Fourth one is exploratory testing. So manual testing excels at exploratory testing, like where testers can creatively explore the software to find defects and issues that are not covered by test cases. So during exploratory testing of a game application, a tester might stumble upon a bug while trying unusual in game interactions. Coming to the automation testing is a less suitable for exploratory testing. It is not recommended for automation testing. Okay. So the next one is initial steps. So many differences there, but I am talking only very important points. Setup and maintenance. Okay. So manual testing requires minimum setup, as testers can start testing immediately. It's a very basic thing. You can begin testing a new mobile app with only one device and understanding of the app's functionality. That's it. So automation testing demands initial step for test automation framework, script creation, and you need to learn on long ways. So many things you need to learn before you start. You need to start automation testing. Okay. So in the conclusion, both manual testing and automation testing have their unique strength and applications. Manual testing is good at exploratory and usability testing, while automation testing, 1 minute. Okay, right. So manual testing is good at exploratory and usability testing, and while automation testing shines in repetitive and large scale testing scenarios. So the choice between manual and automation testing depends on completely your project goals, requirements, and available resources. So in many cases, a combination of both methods is available. Okay, discussing about unit testing, integration testing, and system testing, and the user acceptance testing. Okay, so now let's start with topic about unit testing. Okay, just 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Give me a moment. So in this video, I am discussing about testing types, right? Okay. So first of all, the first testing type is unit testing. Unit testing. Okay. So unit testing is nothing but to test the individual components or units of code are tested. Okay. So unit testing is nothing but to test individual components or units of code tested in tested. That's it. Okay. So the key points are so mainly it will focus on testing small units. Small units of code. Okay. Such as like functions, methods, or classes. In the code level, I am talking only about coding. Okay. So unit testing is nothing but code level testing, not functionality. So okay. So the next point is why perform unit testing. Okay. So remember, unit testing is not uh, tester is not responsible for unit testing. Okay. So completely developers responsible for unit testing. Okay. So why perform unit testing? Okay. First of all, detecting bugs early. Detecting bugs early. Detecting bugs early. Okay. What it means, one of the most significant benefit, it is one of the most significant benefit, like early bug detection. By catching and fixing the issues at the level of unit testing, it is very helpful for software. Okay. So for example, imagine you are working on a bank application. Okay. You have written a function to calculate interest rates or methods. Okay. To calculate interest rates, unit testing can help identify problems with specific function. Okay. Before they affect the entire application. Okay. The next one is improve code quality. Code quality is improved. What it means? So unit testing improve the code quality. So writing the unit test cases, you to think about how your code should behave. Okay. How should your code behave, and often leads to more modular and maintainable code. So once you write, you can execute your unit test cases. So you need to know, after executing your test cases, you will get the good clarity about how your code will work. Okay. So let's say you are developing a game and you have a class responsible for managing the players inventory. Unit testing can ensure that this class behaves correctly, making it is easier to update or extend the game in the future without introducing bugs. Okay. So you need to I think you understood the concept, you are understanding the concept what it is. So unit testing test the small functionality. Okay. Testing the small functionality. So coming to the third one. So I'm showing one practical example also, don't worry guys. Okay, after that you will definitely get the good idea about unit testing. Regression prevention. So what it means, so unit test acts as a safety net. It is acts as a safety net. When you make changes or add new features, running existing unit tests can quickly identify if any existing functionality has been broken or not. For example, I'm taking one real-time example. In a content management system, you have written a function that manages user permissions. After software update, running your unit test cases on this function helps prevent um, changes to user permissions. Okay, so the next one is documentation. Documentation. So unit tests also as a good documentation of for your code. They show how the code is expected to work, which can be invaluable for both you and other developers. Okay, so in the conclusion, unit testing is a critical aspect of software development. Okay, so coming to, already you know about what is unit testing. So I'm writing one simple unit test. So this is Python code. So I'm writing one function about add function. So it return a plus b. So that is a sum. This is a simple function. Okay, this simple method. What does it mean? So for I'm adding one unit test cases. I'm writing one unit test cases. One unit test case. So in this unit test case, you need to check test add positive number and test add negative numbers and test add 0. These three cases are covered in unit test level. Okay, so it will check your code is working or not, this function is working or not. Okay, this is nothing but unit testing. Okay, once you will execute, you can run this run python file. So it will give the one output, ran 3 tests in 0.00 seconds. Okay, the unit test results is okay. Let's say for example 3 5 is equal to 8, right? So I here I'm changing like -1. So let's say what's happening. So immediately it will uh, raise one error, run 3 tests in 0.001 seconds, failure 1 failure is there. What is the failure? What is the failure? 8 not equal to -1, assertion error is there. Okay, immediately you can change your code. 8, let's say for example I am changing this one into multiplication. So but I am writing the unit test case for addition. So now I am writing this test case. Okay, so here you observed 3 test cases are failed because this is not about multiplication, this is about add function. So again I want to change, so a plus b. So again I am running this example. So now you can see run 3 tests in 0.00 seconds and it is okay. Okay, this is the use of unit testing. Okay, unit testing. So now understanding the concept of unit testing, some techniques is there. Some techniques is there. One is statement coverage. So what it means? So I'm writing simple um, Java method like public int add public int add. Okay, int a comma int b. So this is the function, sorry, this is the method in Java. Int result is equal to a plus b. Okay, it return result, right? So here two statements is there. This is the statement 1, statement 2. Okay, in this example, so first of all, what is statement coverage? So in your code, every statement executed at least once. So what it means, in your code, every statement will executed once. So it providing 100% of statement coverage. Okay, so in this example, both statement 1 and statement 2. So during the testing, by using this unit test case, by using some unit test case for this method. So in this case, both the two statements are executed once. So here what it means, 100% statement coverage is done. Okay, that is about statement coverage. The next one is decision coverage. Decision coverage, what it means, so if in case I'm taking another example, public boolean is positive, I'm taking one parameter like num. Okay, so number, if number greater than 0, so what happened, so return true. Okay, otherwise return false. Okay, that's it. So what it means, so you need to, in this code, you need to test with input values that make condition is true or false to achieve 100% decision coverage. So what is meant by decision coverage means, so every decision point in the code, such as if condition or loops, it is evaluated both like true and false. Okay, so it will cover both true and false. So now it will cover 100% decision coverage, right? So in this case, it will cover, it covered true case and false case. So the next one is branch coverage. So in this branch coverage, so I'm taking another example, public int divide int a int b. Okay, so if b not equal to 0, return a by b. Otherwise it return 0. To achieve 100% branch coverage, you must test both branch. B not equal to 0, it is a true, and it is b not, and after that b equal to 0, false. Okay, in this case covered both cases like true and false also. So in this case, to achieve 100% is branch coverage. So in this case, you achieve 100% decision coverage. Okay, so the next one is condition coverage. Branch coverage, after branch coverage, fourth one is condition coverage. So in this condition coverage, same like I'm taking another example, public boolean is even positive. Return num percentage 2 to 0, num greater than 0. Okay, so to achieve 100% condition coverage, you need to test cases where the condition is both true and both false. So you need to achieve 100% condition coverage is there. Okay, so the next one is finite state mission coverage. So in this case, you need to test all the, so it covering like all the states and all the transitions, are tested or not. Okay, so in this case I am taking one example, public enum traffic lights, traffic signals or lights, what it means. So red, green, yellow. Okay, so in this enum representing traffic light, you would need to test transition between red and yellow, okay, and green states to achieve finite mission statement coverage. Okay, this is all about techniques in unit testing. Okay, so now let's talk about advantages and disadvantages of unit testing. Okay, so advantages, I'm talking about firstly advantages. What are the advantages are there? Early detection of bugs. Okay, so it is a one most important advantage is the early detection of bugs. Okay, to test individual units of your code, you can catch and fix the issues at early stage. Okay, the next one is improved code quality. Improve your code quality. Code quality. So unit testing promotes code quality by encouraging clean and modular code design and enforcing code standards. So I already told. So the next one is regression testing. So already I told actually. Unit test 7 serve as regression tests. So in case new code changes do not introduce unintended side effects or break existing functionality. So let's say for example, if you modify the functions from earlier example to improve its performance, the unit test will confirm that the change did not introduce any new bugs. So that is about regression testing. Okay, so I'm talking about already documentation. So I'm talking about already documentation. These are the advantages about unit testing. So now I'm talking about disadvantages. So disadvantages. Okay, so time consuming. One is the biggest advantages. Time consuming. Writing and writing and maintaining these unit testing can be time consuming, especially for large applications and large complex code bases. Okay, limited coverage. So unit tests only cover the specific units of code. Okay, they may not catch the integration issues. So this is the limited coverage, right? So you need to test only individual components, not integration part. So the next one is false sense of security. Security is okay. Passing unit tests do not guarantee that the entire system works flawlessly. Okay, So that is the main disadvantage. Actually, these two are main disadvantages, like time consuming and limited coverage. Early detection, improved code quality, regression testing, and documentation. These are the advantages of unit testing. Okay. The next concept is integration testing. So same, unit testing is also a software testing process. Integration testing also a software testing process. Okay. So it is mainly focuses on verifying the interactions and connections between the various components or modules of software applications. This is the main point about integration testing. It focuses on verifying interactions, connections between various components or modules of a software application. Okay, so in these components work together as a whole, and that any dependencies between them are well managed. So the mainly, what is the purpose actually? What is the purpose of integration testing? Purpose of integration testing. Okay, so let's first of all, you need to understand what is integration. What is integration testing? So first of all, you need to understand the interfaces issue. Okay, identify interfaces issues. Okay, so in this case, integration test helps identify the issues at the interfaces where different components connect. Okay, it ensures the data, messages, and interactions flow correctly between the modules. So let's say, for example, in real world, think of a home automation system with multiple devices. Integration testing would ensure that the communication with the heating system effectively to maintain the desired temperature. Okay, so this is the on real time example, simple example. Okay, so the next one is detect data compatibility. So integration testing verifies that data exchanged between the components so is compatible and correctly transferred. So before that, interfaces, first of all, interfaces issues. In the interfaces issues, it's identify the issues at the interfaces where the components are connect. Okay, like data, message passing, and interactions between the components. It will check. Okay, so data flow between the two modules or three modules or connected modules, whatever it may be. It can identify the issues between the interfaces. Okay, coming to the detect data compatibility means verify the data exchanged between the components. Okay, so it can correctly transferred or not. That is the reason you can use integration testing. For example, if you are using a document management system, integration testing ensures that a different file format can be uploaded and viewed without errors. Okay, so this is nothing but data compatibility. Third one is uncover dependency problems. So coming to the integration testing uncovers problems related to dependencies between components. So it verifies that each module can access the necessary resources without conflicts. Let's say for example, in a e-commerce application, integration testing would validate that the product inventory system can handle simultaneous requests from the ordering system without causing errors. Okay, so this is the wonderful example regarding dependency problems. So fourth one is test third party integration. Third party integration. Okay, so it is a in for any applications that integrated with third party services or APIs, ensuring that they interact with seamlessly or not. Let's say for example, if you have a mobile app that relies on a third app party payment gateway, integration testing verifies that the transactions are processed correctly and securely, okay, through third party integration. So integration testing involve this third party integration testing also. Okay, the next one is validate end to end functionality. Okay, so integration testing process focuses on end to end functionality of the system. It verifies that all integrated components work together to achieve their goals. Let's say for example, in a flight booking application, integration testing confirms that searching for flights, selecting seats, and making payments are coordinated properly to complete a successful booking. Okay, let's discuss with some real time scenarios. Okay, first of all, I am taking one e-commerce website. Okay, I am taking one e-commerce website. This is my e-commerce website. E-commerce website. So integration checks the integration between the, so let's say assume this is the product catalog and this is the shopping cart. Okay, this is the payment gateway. Okay, next order processing. So now integration testing between the product catalog, okay, and shopping cart and payment gateway and order processing system to ensure and it verify the shopping experience between the modules. So these are all modules are integrated to each other. Okay, in this case, so you are verifying the shopping process. Okay, but in this case you also verify the integration testing between the modules. Okay, integration between the product catalog and shopping cart. You need to, so in this case you check the integration testing between the product catalog and shopping cart. So what is the behavior about the two modules? So coming to that payment gateway. So in this case you check the product catalog and shopping cart and payment gateway. In this case you check the three components. So final one is order processing. In this case you check the all the modules. Okay, flow. First payment catalog, next one is shopping cart, and the next one is a payment gateway, and next one is order processing. So these four are individually, it is called as modules. So we combine these modules and test it together. Okay, this process is nothing but integration testing. Okay, integration testing. So the next topic is The next topic is how to identify the integration test cases. Okay, so in this case, first of all, you need to focus on component interactions. Component interactions. So here you can identify the components that need to interact with each other. So consider how they exchange data, messages and functional calls. Same, I'm taking same e-commerce website. So in this website, payment gateway is there, shopping cart is there, and some order processing and payment product catalog is there. Okay, so in this case, you need to test these interactions. Okay, so you need to identify the interactions. What is the interaction between these components? Okay, the next one is input and output. Identify input and output. Okay, so for each component interactions, definitely it has input and expected output. It verifies that you have a clear understanding of what each component should provide and expect. So each component, what is provide, what can expect. Okay, let's say for example, this is the shopping cart, right? So in this case, when user add one item to shopping cart, this is the item one user add the item to the shopping cart. This item is nothing but input. So what is the output? The expected output is the count of cart is increased. Before it is 0, after update the cart, it will become 1. So this is the output actually. Okay, so the next one is consider dependencies. So it is very important concept. So here you can any dependencies between the components, such as like shared database or external services. Test the dependencies and their integration. So in this case, you have an e-commerce site, that's it, e-commerce website. You can share a database. This e-commerce site shares a database with the inventory system. Okay, inventory system. The interaction between the two must be tested. Okay, so this is the process of identify the integration test cases. So in these three conditions, you need to apply the identify the process of integration testing. How to perform integration testing? How to perform integration testing? So now the first approach is to perform integration testing. So first one is top down approach. Okay, so in the top down approach, start by testing the main component or module and then gradually integrated other components one by one. Okay, so I'm taking one example here. mm, okay, so this is main component. These are the subcomponents. Okay, so this is the main component. So in the top down approach, start testing on this main component. Okay, slowly testing gradually integrated with other components. Gradually integrated with other components. This testing is nothing but top down integration testing. So first of all, gradually integrated other components one by one. It means first of all, you should start with main component. So after the main component, you should go to the first component of subcomponent and second subcomponent and third component. Okay, you need to check one by one with with integration process. Okay, so coming to the example, this is let's assume this is your e-commerce website. Okay, like in this case, this is you can add the integration tests for components. Like this is your main payment component. Okay, so this is the processing, this is the cart, this is the payment processing. Like this is a shopping cart, this is the order, this is the payment processing, this is the payment gateway, this is the e-commerce website. First of all, you need to test on the main component. After that, you can integrate it with each other. Okay, so the next approach is bottom approach. In this case, you can test first low level components. Okay, and build up to test higher level interactions. So in this case, you interaction between the main component and the subcomponents, and the bottom approach interaction between the subcomponent with the main component. This testing is nothing but bottom approach integration testing. Okay, so now let's talking about Big Bang approach. The next the next approach is Big Bang Big Bang approach. Big Bang approach. The Big Bang approach tests all components simultaneously without a specific order. There is no order between the components. So you can test all the components simultaneously without any specific order. Okay, so you can start with this way or you can start with this way. You can start with the bottom approach or you can start with a top down. There is no specific order. So in some cases, especially when components are independent, so in this case testing everything together might be the most efficient approach. The next approach is nothing but incremental approach. Don't worry about these approaches. So in the coming topics, definitely I will discuss one by one very clearly. Okay, incremental approach. Okay, so in this incremental approach involves testing interactions incrementally as a new component are added or modified. Let's say for example, you you test this main component and the subcomponent. You can, in this case, some modifications are happening in the subcomponents or some another component are added here. Okay, so you might perform integration testing specially for the this new features interaction with components. Okay, that is the that is nothing but incremental approach. Okay, so coming to the point, the next one is the next one is writing integration test cases. Okay, first of all, define the components. Define the components. So what it means, begin by identify your components that need to be tested in the integration part. This could be modules, services, or subsystems. Let's say, for example, in an e-commerce system, components may include the shopping cart, payment gateway, and the user authentication system. Okay, the next one is specify the inputs and outputs. Okay, in this case, define the inputs for each component and expected outputs when these components interact. Let's say, for example, if the user adds an item to the shopping cart, the input is the item and the expected output is an updated cart with the added item. Okay, the next one is outline the test scenarios. So outline the test scenarios, what it means. So in this case, create test scenarios, various interactions between the components, verifying you cover all possible use cases. So in this context, I am taking one example. Scenarios could include adding items to the cart, processing payments, and user authentication during checkout. Okay, the next one is define test data. Define test data. Prepare the test data such as sample inputs and expected outcomes to use in your test cases. Let's say, for example, in the e-commerce system, you might need to sample product data, user credentials, and payment details for testing. Okay, so after that, you need to write test cases. Okay, so create individual test cases that cover different interactions scenarios between the components. Each test case should have a clear description, preconditions, inputs, and expected outcomes. So for example, write a test case to ensure that when a user with valid credentials adds an item to the cart is updated correctly. Okay, so the next one is address exception handling. Consider negative scenarios and error conditions. Write test cases to ensure that the system handles exceptions and errors gracefully. Create a test case to check how the system responds when a user tries to add an out of stock item to the cart. So the next one is implement the test cases. Develop the test cases using a testing framework or tool. The test cases should include the necessary setup and tear down process. Using test framework like JUnit or PyTest to implement the test cases for your e-commerce website. Okay, the next one is execute the test cases. Run these test cases, making sure to log the results and any issues found during testing. Execute the test cases for your e-commerce system and record the results, noting any failures or unexpected behavior. Okay, the next one is Analyze and report. So analyze the test results and generate a report summarizing the pass or fail status of each test case. Report any defects found. Okay, the next one is iterate and refine. Review the results and refine the test cases as needed. Repeat the testing process to ensure that integration issues are resolved. Okay, so I am showing like practically implement the test cases. Okay, test case implementation for integration testing. Okay, so first test case is add item to cart. Okay, so test case description, verify that adding an item to the shopping cart results in an updated cart. Okay, preconditions, don't worry about this one. In test case implementation definitely I will teach you each and everything. Okay, preconditions: user is logged in, item is available in stock. Okay, inputs, what is the inputs? User ID, product ID, outcome, cart updated with the selected item. So in this test case, this is the integration test case. Okay, so in this test case you can test the two components. One is verifying any item is adding to the cart or not. Okay, so in this case you can click on the item add to cart button, immediately the interaction between the add to cart section. Okay, so whenever user click on that cart button, immediately cart functionality, cart component affected, right? So that is the process you need to check here between the two components. Okay, so item add to cart button is one component, cart functionality is different. Okay, so whenever you can click on this that add to cart item in somewhere, so definitely it will go to that item into that cart. So this is the interaction between the two components. That is the same context here you can check. Okay, so in this way you can implement the test cases regarding integration testing. Okay, and also I am discussing one more thing, like this top-down approach. I am repeating once again. This is very important, a very important interview question also. In top-down integration testing, you start by testing top level. Top level means main component or module. So gradually you can integrated low level components one by one. Okay, for example, imagine you are working on a social media platform. You would begin by testing the user interface and the integrated services like user authentication and content posting step by step. So once you can log in with the once you can test user interface like UI, so immediately it showing like it is showing like one login page or whatever it may be. So whenever you open that application, so that is UI. So after that, slowly integrated service like login and content posting step by step. That is the top down of integration testing. So coming to the bottom up integration testing, So bottom up integration testing start with lower level components and progressively integrates high level components. So coming to the point, in a e-commerce system, I'm taking one example. In e-commerce system, you would design by testing the database, then integrate the payment gateway, and finally connect it to the user interface. Okay. So here the one very important point, one, please remember this point and note it down in your notebook. Okay. So this is stubs. Very important question interviewer definitely ask in the interview. So what is nothing but stubs and what is nothing but drivers? So stubs and drivers are used when not all the components are available for testing. Stubs are used in low level components while drivers are using high level components to facilitate testing. Let's say for example, when testing a video conferencing application like Zoom, you may use a driver to simulate user interactions when the actual user interface is not ready. If the user interface is not ready, in that place you can use drivers like dummy. Stubs and drivers are using the same context, but it is dummy. So, but stubs are using at low level and drivers are using at high level. So, just it is a dummy. Drivers are is nothing but dummy. Okay. So in this case, user interaction is not there. In the user interactions, in the place of actual user interface, you can replace with the driver or stub in the top down or bottom, whatever it may be. Okay. Fourth one is, sorry, the next one is sixth one, sandwich. Sandwich or hybrid testing. So it is the combine the both top down and bottom approaches. It allows for parallel testing of components. Okay, that is very simple. You can both parallelly testing of components using top down and bottom approach. This testing is nothing but sandwich or hybrid testing. That's it. In this video, we will provide you with a comprehensive understanding of software system testing, is how it's applied in real world scenarios. We will explore the 10 examples of system testing, each with a detailed explanation. So if you are eager to dive into the world of system testing, let's get start the video. Okay, same unit testing, integration testing, or system testing. These are all software testing processes. So where the entire software system is tested as a whole to ensure it meets the customer requirements, working or not. Okay, so that is nothing but system testing. Entire, you can test entire system. So with the help of the requirement. So after that you can ensure that requirements are working as per that software is working as per the requirement or not. That is nothing but system testing. Okay, system testing. So here before we are going into the examples, some key concepts are there. Okay, in system testing. So once this, let's start with that key concepts like end-to-end testing. End-to-end testing. So system testing is all about end-to-end testing, where the entire system, including its integrated components, is tested together. That testing process is nothing but end-to-end testing. For example, in an e-commerce system, system testing involves testing the complete process from selecting products to making payments, one point to another point. You can start with your journey from one place, and you can reach your destination. That is the another point. So you can start with one point and end with another point. So this process is nothing but in the context of software testing, end-to-end testing. Okay, so Next one is testing in real environments. Testing in real environments. System testing is conducted in real environment to how user will interact with the software. For example, a flight booking system is there. System testing includes testing in a production-like environment involving real flight data and servers. The next one is black box. So it is a technique. It is a completely system testing. Okay, it is coming under system testing. Meaning the tester does not need to know how the internal code or logic of the software. Without the logic, you can test the software. The type of testing is nothing but black box. Coming to the white box, definitely developer or tester knows about code, know the internal code and logic of the software in white box testing. So coming to the black box testing, does not need to know the internal code or logic of the software. For example, when testing a social media platform, testers focus on using the platform as end user without knowing its um, without knowing the software code. Okay, the next one is non-functional testing. So system testing evaluates non-functional aspects like performance, security, usability, and scalability. For example, testing in a banking application for security, load handling, and user friendliness. Okay, so some examples I am discussing here. Okay, so I am taking user authentication and authorization. So for a web application, systems testing verifies that only authorized users can access the certain parts of the system. It verifies that user roles and permissions are correctly implemented. Okay, so in a content management system checks the system testing checks the regular users can edit the content while only administrators can access the admin dashboard. Please remember this point. In system testing, testers can do the testing on the web application or on software. Okay, and also they need to checking multiple browser compatibility. So for a web-based application, system checks how will the software functions across different web browsers. Okay, so for example, in a e-learning platform, system testing evaluates the platform performance and usability in browsers like Chrome, Firefox, and Safari. And also you can perform so many examples is there like mobile testing, performance testing, and security testing. So many examples is there. Okay, actually system testing is a crucial test step in the software testing process. Various aspects is there: functionality to performance and security. By conducting through the system testing, we ensure the software works as per the requirement. Okay, providing a reliable and user friendly experience. But how to perform this system testing? How to perform? First of all, you need to test the environment setup. Environment setup. So before you begin with system testing, set up the testing environment, including hardware, software, and any necessary configurations. Let's say, for example, if you are testing a mobile application, you should have various devices, operating systems, and network conditions to verify comprehensive testing. And also next one is test plan development. Create a, in this case you can create a detailed test plan that outlines the scope, objectives, and the testing strategy for the system. Let's say for example, a test plan for an e-commerce platform should specify what features to test, which devices to use, and how to simulate different user behaviors. Okay, the next one is test data preparation. Prepare before executing the test cases. You can prepare relevant test data, including positive and negative test scenarios uh, that will can use like real world uses. Okay, so after that, design test case design. So in this case, you can develop your test cases that cover different system features and scenarios. Like in each test case should have a clear description, preconditions, inputs, and expected outcomes. Okay, and also fifth one is execution, and logging. Okay, execute the test cases systematically and log the results and report any defects or issues found during testing. Okay, next one is regression testing. Performing regression testing to ensure that recent changes or bug fixes do not impact previously working functionality or not. This is nothing but regression testing. Okay, so in the very important interview question, what to verify in system testing, so first step is nothing but functional correctness. So ensure that all functional requirements of the software works as expected or not. So in this case, I am taking one example. Verify that the login functionality in a social media app allow user to log in with valid credentials or not. The next one is user interface. Please note down your notebook. Okay, user interface. Check the user interface for consistency, usability, and design guidelines. Okay, in mobile application, in a navigation app, verify that the user interface elements are properly placed and user friendly. The next one is performance. So access the system performance, including response time, throughput, and resource usage. Okay, so and next one is security. It's very important thing. Verify the security of the system, including like user data protections and some secure process. Okay, and fifth one is compatibility. So compatibility nothing but you can check with the different devices for your application testing and operating systems. That's it. Sixth one is usability. So evaluate the user friendliness of the system. Here you can check user friendliness of the system and considering easy of navigation and user satisfaction. Okay, and also you can perform some other testings also. Okay, so here I am discussing about types of system testings. First one is functional testing. It verifies the system functions work as based on the specific requirements or not. Okay, the next one is user interface testing. Okay, in this case you can check mainly focuses on the system graphical user interface, GUI, checking for usability and consistency and user friendliness. and performance testing so it can, in this case, you can check the system speed and scalability and resource utilization under different conditions. So you already know about security and compatibility and usability, right? Already you know about regression testing. And coming to the next one is load testing. These are all coming and in system testing. Okay, load testing is nothing but it can check like performance under heavy loads and peak usage conditions. Let's say for example, verify that the platform can handle a large number of file uploads and downloads simultaneously. Let's say for example, load testing verifies that your platform can handle a large number of users login at a time. So what is the load for in that time? Okay, the next one is stress testing. Okay, so in this case, testing pushes the system its limits to evaluate its behavior under extreme conditions. For example, stress testing for a weather forecasting system, how it handles massive influx of real-time data during weather events. Okay, so many testing types is there. And I am discussing in the later videos one by one. Okay, before I moving to the concept of user acceptance testing, so now in this video I am discussing about this functional testing and non-functional testing. Okay, so like I'm discussing one by one. First of all, what is functional testing? Checking the functionality of the software, it is working as per the requirement or user requirement or not. Okay, but how to perform functional testing? First of all, you already know requirement analysis. You need to understanding the functional requirements of the software. Okay, in these functional requirements, definitely you will cover in your test cases. After that, you can create the test cases and execute the test cases and issue reporting and performance some retesting and regression testing. Okay, that's it. That is nothing but functional testing. So many functional testing is there, like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, user acceptance testing, alpha testing and beta testing. These are coming under functional testing. Okay, so coming to the non-functional testing, mainly it focuses on the system speed and stability and reliability under different conditions. Okay, in this case, how to perform performance testing? Definitely you can define the test objective. Clearly define the performance of test objective, including what you want to validate, such as response time, current user load or resource consumption. Based on that, you can create the test scenarios and select the right tool for performance testing and execute the performance tests and analyze the reports. That's it. Okay, let's say for example, uh, simulate 1,000 concurrent users adding products to their carts and making purchases. So the expected outcome is ensure the website maintains acceptable response times and perform well under heavy load also. This is nothing but non-functional testing. Okay, so many performance testing is tools are there, like Apache JMeter, Load Runner, Apache Abby, Gatling and New Relic. So these are the tools for performance testing. Okay, so now I want to discussing about the user acceptance testing. Okay, simply I can tell like so in this case, end users evaluate the software to ensure it meets their needs and expectations. Okay, so use UAT testing. It is also known as acceptance testing, user acceptance testing, or UAT testing. So in this testing, where actual end users, clients or stakeholders test the software to verify that it meets their requirements or not, performs as expected, and it is ready for the production use. Okay, so in this case, you can perform like what is the UAT objective? Okay, what functionality or feature will be tested and what are the acceptance criteria, and pick the some testers, identify actual end users and representative who will participate in the testing. This could be clients, test stakeholders or employees who will use the software. After that you can prepare that some test scenarios and execute those scenarios into UAT environment and take the feedback and iteration is there. Okay, this is nothing but user acceptance testing. It's very simple, guys. So now after that I am discussing about alpha and beta testing. Okay, alpha testing and beta testing is very important. Okay, it is mainly focusing on software quality before its final release. Okay, first of all I want to discussing about the alpha testing. 1 minute, I'm clearing this entire diagram. Okay, I'm selecting a new one. Wait for 1 minute. Create a team board. Okay, so how to perform, like what is alpha testing first? What is alpha testing first? So first phase of software development, it is a first phase, like, okay, where internal users, where, let's understand, where internal users, these are all internal users, okay, or selecting group of developers. So these people are developers or some internal users performing testing within a controlled environment. So this is the controlled environment to perform alpha testing. Okay, so this group of people test in some specific environment. This type of testing is nothing but alpha testing. Okay, first of all, how to perform this alpha testing? This is alpha testing, guys. Okay, alpha testing. Okay, select internal testing team or in some group of people in the software development process. Okay, so you can conduct alpha testing controlled environment. Okay, you can create one environment for that one. After that, execute some test cases and identify defects and provide feedback to the development team. And also iteration is there. Developers make necessary adjustment based on the alpha testing feedback and further testing is performed if needed. Coming to the beta testing, it is after alpha testing, it is a second phase where a selected group of international users or software targeted audience evaluates. So nowadays in mobile apps some beta versions is there. Okay, you can download that beta version, you can access that features, right? So this type of testing is nothing but beta testing. In the testing also, external users are some software target audiences, okay, involved in this testing. Same select your beta testers and the controlled release. Okay, real world usage and feedback collection. This type of steps are there. Coming to the I'm taking one example for alpha testing and another one is beta testing. Okay, so alpha testing, I'm taking Zoom conferencing software. So in this conferencing software, my alpha testing objective is assess the initial functionality of video conferencing software. So internal team testing, the testing team, the development team and internal employees. Okay, controlled environment, testing conducted in a controlled lab environment, that is the alpha environment. Outcome is identify issues including audio glitches and screen sharing problems. Okay, Coming to the beta testing example, mobile app for traveling booking app. Okay, so in this case, the main test objective for beta testing, evaluate a mobile app for mobile booking flights and hotels. So beta testers are a group of deserved persons or some people are in development software development team. Okay, so controlled release is what beta versions released on app stores for public download. Okay, you can see for WhatsApp also have a beta versions. Some gaming applications also have a beta versions. Beta versions are different from original application. Original application is standard. Beta version is not standard. Some new features are available. So these new features are not available in the original application. But in this beta version, after uses some people are using this beta version, so then they can get the feedback from their end. Okay, so that is the reason alpha testing and beta testing is coming to the picture. Okay, so if you found this video informative, please give it thumbs up and subscribe to our channel and share your thoughts or questions in the comment section. Thank you for watching and we will see you in the next video.